Hello students, welcome to the 9th session of Software Engineering Unit 3. In today's session, I am going to explain risk management planning. Before that, let's brief on the previous session topics. That is project scheduling and staffing and quality planning. Project scheduling is a mechanism that is used to communicate and know about what activities or tasks that are needed in project development and which organizational resources will be given or allocated to these activities. It also deals with at what time duration or time frame the project work needed to be performed. A project schedule consists of sequence of activities with specific milestones and deliverable that are needed to be delivered under a given period of time. Gantt chart, critical path diagrams are used to represent project schedule, where Gantt chart is the most common and important form of representing project schedule. Project staffing means planning and acquiring the right staff at the right time for the right duration. Quality planning is used to achieve the goal of a project, which is nothing but delivering a software with low defect density. In quality planning, the defects injected in different phases are identified and removed through a series of quality control activities. These topics we have discussed in the previous session in detail. In today's session, I am going to explain risk management planning, which includes risk management concepts, risk assessment, and risk control. Software development process is both time consuming and a costly affair that demands to employ high skilled software engineers in large numbers to reduce average duration of project development time. That's why software project is a complex work which encounters maximum risks, inviting unexpected incidents, which causes adverse effect or damages to the overall development and delivery process of that software product. Let's understand what is risk in detail. Risk is a potential problem that may or may not occur in the future. It is generally caused due to lack of information, lack of control, or lack of time. A possibility of suffering from loss in software development process is called a software risk. Loss can be anything such as increase in production cost, development of poor quality software, not being able to complete the project on time, etc. Some software risks exist because the future is uncertain and there are many known and unknown things that cannot be incorporated in the project plan. A software risk can be internal or external. Internal risks are within the control of the project manager, and external risks are beyond the control of the project manager. These are the different types of risk a software development could face. First one, schedule risk. The delivery date for the projects gets slipped or postponed when the risks and tasks are not scheduled properly. These risks may affect the project and can lead to project failure, and it also impact on the company economy. Secondly, we have budget risk. Here, the budget has not been estimated properly. The project has expanded unexpectedly. Costs have overrun. These are considered as the budget risk. Third one, operational risk. These risks occur due to failed system or external risks due to events and lack of process implementation. Causes of operational risks are priority conflicts are not resolved properly, responsibilities have not been resolved properly, lack of resources, lack of training, lack of planning and scheduling for the resources, lack of communication in the team. And fourth one, we have technical risk. These risks occur due to lack of performance and implementation of functionalities. Causes of technical risks are the project's requirements are changing continuously and technology advancement is not available. Project implementation is complex. Integration of modules has become difficult. So these are the causes of technical risk. Other unavoidable risks such as programmatic risk. These risks are beyond the operational aspect. Causes of these risks are no market development, product strategy is changing frequently, change of government rules, etc. So these are some other unavoidable risks. Let's see some of the risks which may or may not occur during project development process. Project investment cost exceeding the budget. This may be the result of wrong cost estimation. Secondly, project development time going out of the schedule. This may be due to inaccurate or incorrectly done project scheduling. Third one, we have more programmers required to meet the schedule. That means you are running out of programmers or staff to do the work. This may be the result of incorrect project staffing. And next one we have is compromises on the quality of software being developed. This may be the result of inappropriate quality planning or insufficient quality control activities. And the next one is over and above expenditure during testing and shipment. Penalty charges to be paid for not meeting the specified schedule, wrong functioning of the code, poor ability of software development professionals. These are some of the risks which results in the failure of the software. And hence, these risks has to be managed for successful software development. In order to control and manage these risks, we need an effective risk management planning. Risk management is an attempt to minimize the chances of failure caused by unplanned events. The aim of risk management is not to avoid getting into projects that have risks, but to minimize the impact of risks in the projects that are undertaken. A risk is a probabilistic event. It may or may not occur. Sometimes it gets the project in trouble if the risk events occurs. These are most likely to happen in a large project. Hence, risk management is considered first among the best practices for managing large software projects towards meeting the project goals in terms of cost, schedule, and quality. Let's see the concept of risk management. Risk management is the area that tries to ensure that the impact of risks on cost, quality and schedule is minimal. Commonly expected events such as some requirements changes and people going on leave frequently are handled by normal project management. But risk management is done where normal project management cannot handle the events. It deals with events that are infrequent, somewhat out of the control of the project management, as I have already explained, and which can have a major impact on the project. Risk management revolves around risk assessment and risk control. First, we will discuss about risk assessment. Risk assessment activity has to conduct the following tasks as a part of risk management. That is risk identification, risk analysis and risk prioritization. Risk identification and management are very important tasks during software project development because success and failure of any software project depends on it. Risks are identified by keeping a checklist of frequently occurring risks, regularly doing project survey and estimation, design walkthrough which allows designers to obtain an early validation of design decisions related to the development. Risk identification are also done through code reviews, which is the act of software quality assurance, in which one or several people check a program mainly by viewing or reading parts of its source code, and they do so after implementation or as an interruption of implementation. Review of project plan, SRS, process, prototype and work products are also done to examine and validate the development process moving in a right direction. By all these methods, one can ensure that the project development is under control and there is a possibility of risk. The important advantage of risk identification is that it helps completely analyze and find out what risks need to be addressed, which are based on the impact it makes on the project, and it is also based on how likely the risks are going to occur in a particular project development process. All risks that are identified can be resolved with a plan without compromising with the objectives of the project and the expected end result. These are some of the examples of identified risk items. Shortage of skilled team, which is the result of incorrect project staffing. Wrong estimation on code and schedule, which is the result of wrong project cost estimation and scheduling. Development of wrong software code, which is identified by code reviews. Development of wrong user interface, which is identified by design walkthrough. Gold plating, this is addition of less useful features to the software, which is identified by SRS review, prototyping, work product, etc. Once the risks identified, these are listed down and analyzed strategically one by one. The analysis helps in removing potential inaccuracies at the beginning of the project itself. In risk analysis, the probability of occurrence of a risk has to be estimated along with the loss that will occur if the risk does happen. Risk analysis often done through discussion, using experience and understanding of the situations, and through structured approaches. Once the risks are analyzed, they can be prioritized. One approach for prioritization is through the concept of risk exposure, which is sometimes called as risk impact and also risk priority number. RE is defined by the relationship RE is equal to probability of UO multiplied by loss of UO, where probability of UO is the probability of the undesired outcome and loss of UO is the total loss occurred due to the unsatisfactory outcome. The loss is not only the direct financial loss, that might be any loss in terms of credibility, future business, and loss of property or life casualties, etc. The RE is the expected value of the loss due to a particular risk. The value of RE is used for risk prioritization. The higher the RE, the higher the priority of the risk item. Second concept in risk management is risk control. The main objective of risk management is to identify the top few risk items and then focus on them. Once the project manager has identified and prioritized the risk, the top risks can be easily identified and controlled. Hence, risk control activity involves risk avoidance, risk mitigation, and risk monitoring. The most direct method to control the risk is risk avoidance. Risk is avoided when the organization refuses to accept it. This is the method of not executing the action that gives rise to risk. For example, if you want to avoid the risk associated with the ownership of property, then do not purchase property. Very simple. Instead of purchasing, lease or rent the property. Or let's consider another example. If the use of a particular product is dangerous, then do not manufacture or sell that product. This is a negative technique rather than a positive one. It is sometimes an unsatisfactory approach to deal with many risks. If risk avoidance were used extensively, the business would face lack of opportunities for profit and probably would not be able to achieve its objectives. So what is the next method to control the risk? The next method is risk mitigation. For more risk, the strategy is to perform the actions that will either reduce the probability of the risk happening or reducing the effect of risk or reduce the loss which occurred due to the risk. These are called risk mitigation steps. Example of risk reduction are commonly medical care, fire department, night security guards, etc. These are used to deal with risk by preventing the loss or by reducing the chance that the risk will occur. Some techniques are used to prevent the occurrence of the loss and the other techniques are used to control the severity of the loss. No matter how hard we try, it is impossible to prevent all losses, and hence we can at least try to reduce the risk. As we know, the loss prevention technique cannot cost more than the actual losses. Let's see few risk management techniques for the risk we have identified in the risk identification stage. For the personal shortfalls, the risk management techniques would be staffing with top talent, job matching, team building, key personal agreements, training, pre-scheduling key people. For the unrealistic schedules and budgets, the risk management techniques would be detailed cost and schedule estimation, design to cost, incremental development, software reuse, requirement scrubbing. For developing the wrong software function, the risk management technique would be organizational analysis, machine analysis, user survey, prototyping, early users manuals. For developing the wrong user interface, the risk management technique would be prototyping, scenarios, task analysis, and user characterization. For gold plating, that is adding less useful feature to the software, the risk management technique would be requirement scrubbing, prototyping, cost benefit analysis, and design to cost. Since risks are always dynamic and frequently change with respect to time, it should not be treated as static and must be monitored and re-evaluated periodically. Hence, in addition to monitoring the progress of the planned risk mitigation steps, a project must periodically reanalyze the risk and modify the risk mitigation plans if required. Risk monitoring is the activity of monitoring the status of various risks and their control activities. One simple approach for risk monitoring is to analyze the risk as afresh at each major milestone and change the risk management plans as needed. Let's have a quick review of what we have understood till now. Software project is a complex work which encounters maximum risks inviting unexpected incidents causing adverse effect and or damage to the overall development and delivery process of that software product. Hence, there should be a risk management planning necessary to manage and control the risk. Risk management involves risk assessment and risk control. In risk assessment, possible risks are needed to be identified. Once the risks are identified, these are need to be analyzed along with the loss if the risk event occur. Risk analysis is done through discussion using experience and understanding of this situation through structured approach. Based on the risk analysis, these risks are prioritized into high priority, medium priority and low priority risks. High priority risks are given more attention than the low priority risks. Risk prioritizing is done based on the risk exposure or risk impact formula. That is, RE is equal to probability of unexpected outcome multiplied by the total loss due to unsatisfied outcome. Once the risk assessment is done, the next activity is risk control, which has three methods to control the risks. The most direct method to control the risk is risk avoidance. This is a method of avoiding the complete action that gives rise to risk. It is a negative approach rather than a positive one. Next comes our risk mitigation. If we have chosen not to avoid the risk, then we'll go for risk mitigation. Risk mitigation is a strategy to perform the actions that will reduce the probability of the risk materializing. The last and continuous technique is risk monitoring. It is the activity of monitoring the status of various risks and their control activities. One simple approach for risk monitoring is to analyze the risk as afresh at each major milestone and change the plans as required. Let's see an example or case study for risk management. Here the project is constructing a building. When constructing a building, there is a risk that the building may later collapse due to an earthquake. That is, the possibility of an earthquake is a risk here. If the building is a large residential complex, then the potential cost in case of earthquake risk materializes can be enormous or huge. The risk management techniques here is, if we choose risk avoidance technique, then it suggests a very direct and negative solution or approach of not constructing a building itself in that location. Secondly, if we does not choose this risk avoidance method, then the next method is risk mitigation. That is, to reduce the risk by shifting the building construction to a zone that is not earthquake prone. Alternatively, if this is not acceptable, then the effort of this risk materializing are minimized by suitably constructing the building like the approach followed in Japan and California. That is to construct an earthquake-proof building. At the same time, if a small dumping ground is to be constructed, no such approach might be followed, as the financial and other impact of an actual earthquake on such a building is too low or very minimal, that it does not require any special measures or action to be undertaken. Let's solve a few multiple choice questions on today's topics. Question number 1. Every risk has 100% likelihood. Option A, true. Option B, false. C, risk is a probabilistic event. It may or may not occur. We cannot be sure that the risk can happen 100%. Hence, the correct option here is option B, false. Question number 2. Risk management is one of the most important responsibility of the option A, client or customer, option B, investor, option C, production team, option D, project team. Here, risk management involves predicting risks that might affect the project schedule or the quality of the software being developed, and then taking action to avoid these risks. And hence, it is the responsibility of the whole project team. They should identify the risks as early as possible and come up with the ways to deal with the risk. Hence, the right answer for this question is option D, project team. Question number 3. Which of the following risk is the failure of a purchased component to perform as expected? Option A, product risk. Option B, project risk. Option C, business risk. Option D, programming risk. See here, product risk are the risks that affects the quality or performance of the software being developed. Whereas project risk is an uncertain event or condition that if it occurs, it has a positive or negative effect on a project's objectives. Whereas a business risk is that where an organization has to face lower profits and lead to the failure of organization. Or in other words, anything that threatens a company's ability to achieve its financial goal is considered as business risk. A program risk is a potential outcome that causes a program fail to meet its goal. So hence the correct option for this question is option A, product risk. Question number 4. Which of the following is not a risk management technique for managing the risk due to unrealistic schedules and budgets? Option A, detailed multi-source cost and schedule estimation. Option B, design cost. Option C, incremental development. Option D, information hiding. Here, risk management is the process of identifying, assessing and controlling threats to an organization's capital earnings. Risk management can be considered as dealing with the possibility and actual occurrence of those events that are not regular or commonly expected. Here, detailed multi-source cost and schedule estimation, design cost and incremental development, all these are directly related for managing the risk due to unrealistic schedules and budgets. Whereas information hiding is not a risk management technique because information hiding is the principle of segregation of the design decisions in a computer program that are mostly likely to change. It protects other part of the program from extensive modification if the design decision is changed. So this is a technique which reduces the complexity of the design. Hence the right answer for this question is option D, information hiding. Let's see our fifth question. Which of the following term is best defined by the statement derive traceability information to maximize information hiding in the design? Option A, underestimated development time. Option B, organizational reconstructing. Option C, requirements changes. Option D, none of the mentioned. Tracing the requirements can help us to understand the risk. Then underestimated development time and organizational reconstructing. Whenever the requirements are changed, it can be traceable. Hence, the correct answer for this question is option C, requirement changes. Question number 6. Which of the following term is best defined by the statement the degree of uncertainty that the project will meet its requirements and be fit for its intended use? Option A, performance risk. Option B, cost risk. Option C, business risk. Option D, schedule risk. Here, performance risk is the potential that a product or a project will not deliver as much value as required. Cost risk is the risk that the project costs more than the reserved budget. Cost risk may lead to performance risk if cost overruns leads to the reduction in scope or compromising in the quality of the product to stay or remain within the baseline budget. Business risk is anything that threatens company's ability to achieve its financial goal. And schedule risk is the possibility of failing to meet schedule plans and the effect of that failure. It exists in every schedule and is impossible to predict completely. Hence, the correct answer for this question is option A, performance risk. Question number 7. Which of the following is not a business risk? Option A, building an excellent product or system that no one really wants. Option B, losing the support of senior management due to a change in focus or change in people. Option C, lack of documented requirements or software scope. Option D, losing budgetary or personal commitment. Here, option A, B and C are completely related to the business risk because it is dealing with client requirements, budget, profit and loss. Hence, option C is the correct answer for this question. Question number 8. Which of the following is a systematic attempt to specify threats to the project plan? Option A, risk identification. Option B, performance risk. Option C, risk mitigation. Option D, risk projection. Risk identification is a process of identifying possible risks. Performance risk is the potential that a product or a project will not be delivered with the expected performance. Risk mitigation is a process of reducing the occurrence of risk event or reducing the loss due to risk occurrence. And risk projection activities involves estimating the impact of the risk on the project and on the product and noting the overall accuracy of the risk projection so that there will be no misunderstanding. Hence, the right option here is option D, risk projection. Question number 9. From the following, give 3 major categories of risk. 1. Schedule risk. 2. Project risk. 3. Technical risk. 4. Business risk. Options are option A 1, 2 and 3. Option B 2, 3 and 4. Option C 1, 2 and 4. Option D 1, 3 and 4. In the types of risk, we have discussed all these types of risk. Based on that, we can say the options 2, 3 and 4 are the major categories of risk. Hence, the right option here is option B, that is project risk, technical risk and business risk. Last question of this session. What is risk? Option A, negative consequence that could occur. Option B, negative consequence that will occur. Option C, negative consequence that must occur. Option D, negative consequence that shall occur. As risk is a probabilistic event, it may or may not occur. The correct answer here is option A, negative consequence that could occur. This completes our today's session. These are the references which I have used to create this session content. Do join with us for the next session. Thank you, students.